Day 14. This is my last full day here in this lovely little town known as Lucban. It's a little after 6 in the morning. My mother-in-law is already preparing food, I suppose, for breakfast for whomever might get up. The wife's upstairs coughing her lungs out because she claims the hot and cold of the weather is starting to affect her throat. Everything affects her throat, especially her talking. And she came home rather late last night from Manila after looking for gifts for folks abroad. Her along with my sisters Jasmine and Lita and her husband Victor. I thought I'd take this time just to walk around the town this morning, soak in more of the scenery and the sounds and the smells and everything else about this place. Hopefully I don't get shot. Highly unlikely though. There are no bad guys that I know of in this town. Just very friendly folk. Simple. Most everybody knows everybody because it's so small. Every time I turn around, somebody says hello to one of my relatives. And of course the food is just so much food here. If I had more time, I'd eat more. But then I'd have to change all my clothes because nothing would fit. In fact, I'm pretty sure my suits are going to be real tight when I get back home. Because I hadn't worked out at all, but I have worked out my belly, as well as my kidneys and liver when it comes to shots taken. There's a lot of that to be had. You with me? Anyway, we're just walking down the street in my pajamas. Trying to walk off everything for the last 2 weeks. Not going to happen. I'm going to add some more calories later on today, I'm sure. Here is the entrance to my late grandmother's house, grandmother-in-law, I suppose, Nanette's mother, or Nanette's grandma. And right next door to that is what's considered their supermarket. Not open, obviously, but when it is, it's hustling and bustling once again. Some of the homes around here. This is a tad older than normal, but still the structure is pretty much the same for most of the nice homes. And this, I suppose, is the headquarters for the cable company here. It's called Banahaw, which is the name of the mountain that shadows this town. It's all mountain. My father-in-law, from what I've been told, used to hike up that mountain daily to work. Should have kept him alive a little longer, but as it were, he suffered from several diseases, mainly kidney. That's what took him out. I'm currently at an area that many folks like to come to. It's I suppose, another section of housing. Some very nice homes and a select few restaurants. But moreover than that, it's a nice big open area that you can walk around in. And I've already passed several folks who've been doing the daily walk. And it's nice. It's not too hot yet. I mean, you can feel the sun's definitely out, and you can feel the warmth coming at you. And I'm sure the humidity will follow shortly. But can't beat the view. Very beautiful homes. Honey's Cocina Tex-Mex with a twist. We ate here last July. There was a bunch of us. This is founded by, I think, an American who happened to marry a balikbayan, as they call it, a local gal. And he brought his flavors back home. I think he's from Texas, and introduced it here. It was okay. I mean, given the materials he had to work with, this meat was a bit rough. But all in all, we had fun. Plus, they have 2 private rooms where you can actually sing karaoke while trying to digest everything. We had fun. Wish we had more time to come back to this, but as it were, we only got a few hours left before the road trip to Manila tomorrow morning. My aunt's home, my aunt from Paris, Aunt Lena, whose late husband Roy left us too soon. I had the pleasure of knowing him before he passed when I was stationed back in Paris. Nice fella. He was one of the few guys that accepted me at first, because everyone was a bit hesitant about me dating Nanette, being the foreigner that I am. They all thought, oh, he's just a serviceman, he's just going to come and go and forget all about Nanette, but I'm not that way. Anyway, I miss him. And Lena, I believe, is back in Paris, but her home is really nice. I don't remember which one it is, but I do remember coming here last July after the big Permalino reunion over at the Fisherman's Lake. At a whim, everybody said, let's go to Lena's house. Apparently there's been some bad blood between Lena and the rest of the family, for reasons I really don't know. But when we showed up, she was very warm, kind, and the house is beautiful. Rory would have loved to have lived there. But she's all alone now, in a beautiful house. If I were to retire here, I would like something simple like this. Nice corner lot with a nice balcony so I can have my coffee and overlook the neighborhood. It is relatively quiet compared to downtown. I've noticed through my observations of most of the buildings around here that it's, for the most part, hand done. They do use tools, but unlike the States or perhaps other countries that rely heavily on tools to get those straight edges and whatnot, these folks here take home building more into an artistic way of manufacturing as opposed to a very generic and science method. I mean, you can see it in the texture of the walls, how it's all smoothed out the old-fashioned way. There's still the impressions of brushes and even palm prints at times. It's almost like molding or creating a sculpture with clay. Yet it looks great. In the end, you get a pretty damn good result. Just slap some paint over all the imperfections, and you really can't tell the difference. But you must build in cement here. Wood doesn't last long out here unless it's treated. There's too many little creatures that like to eat wood. But it's beautiful out here. The scenery, all reflective of my youth back in Hawaii, where everything is clean, green, and humid, with fresh fruit galore. And as for back home, fresh water that I can tolerate from the tap. Here, not so much. Got that parasitic problem here. You know, most people are used to it, so their immune system is already built up to where they can tolerate it. Not mine. Found that out the hard way last time I was here, and I think I had a very slight bout, early on in our vacation this time. Of course, that was exacerbated by alcohol. Like everything else in my life, it's exacerbated. Anywho, I better head back because the sun's starting to come out higher, and that means it gets hotter later. You go from civilization to Jurassic Park in sheer moments. Typical of the tropics, everything grows and grows big here. Yeah. As I was walking past here, this fella caught my ear. Everything grows here. He's gonna make some great lamb chops one day. This house caught my eye. Very nice. Even has the architect's name on the wall. I like symmetry. And although some think this is too boxy, I like the look. My only issue perhaps is that there's no car garage. You need a garage to kind of prolong the life of your car out here in the tropics. Tends to make things rusty real quick. Here's a smaller grocer. I didn't even notice this place until just now. I have no idea what's inside. I am gonna miss this place. I'll be back. Pace is picking up a bit. People are starting to wake up. Businesses are starting to open slowly but surely. Again, the sun's coming out, so you can tell by my right cheek. So it's time for me to find me some shade. But first, we're gonna pay a visit to Zaldi's place. No, not his house, but what created everything, including his house. But first, another shot of the old hotel and my former room and the town square. They're not open yet, but when they are, they're going to be jam-packed as always. Long live buddies. And just above, the ancestral home of Zaldi and all the other Veluzes who grew up here. Still occupied by Augusto. And when family's in town, they also occupy it, like Naji, Pachot, sometimes Deb. One last shot of the last hotel we stayed at. Off to the left is our old room on the second floor. And it sits upon some of these storefronts here. There's the main doors, so they give you a key to open that door, and then a key for your room. I've just been made aware that Nanette is heading out to Lucena City, which is about an hour's away. I believe my brother Maynard's going to drive on this go. Loud. Anyway, he's got his truck, so he's going to endure Nanette's shopping again. In theory, those are supposed to be done by noon so they can meet me and Lita at this restaurant nearby the church that is similar to Pepe's. We'll see. We'll see if she shows up. I'm going nonetheless, whether she's there or not, because I'm hungry. Alright! Despite me saying goodbye last night, we're heading back to Pepe Mary's for more cappuccino with an H. This is for sure the last time I'm going to have a cappuccino in this place. Because I ain't got enough time. We're heading over to another place to eat lunch. I forget where. Yeah. Yeah, what she said. And maybe Ati will join us. She's at Lucena City, which is an hour away, shopping at S&M. You know, after shopping all day for nothing in Manila yesterday. With her mother. Not his mother. His mother's in Dubai.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, waiting for my cappuccino to arrive. They're shakes. What did you get? You have a watermelon.
Mango.
You had right mango. You had the watermelon.
Yes.
Okay. Shakes nonetheless. That is a masterpiece. And it's all because of this. Oh, look at that thumbnail. Oh. Where are we going? Barrett, what?
Barrett Abel, the brother of Kuya Adele.
Okay. Yeah, what she said. So, first we gotta pick up the eating machine and her mother.
The brother of Kuya, the brother
The brother of Kuya Adele, that one. That one, the small one, that one.
Hey, Tito. Hey, Tito Kibo.
What?
Insect.
My leg.
Oh, you have insect at the back.
Poor Victor. Been awake too long. I need him wide awake tomorrow morning.
Hey, Tito Kibo.
Is always having a hard
Never
time
mind.
while sitting.
Looks like Poggy or Ronald's going to drive tomorrow. God, I hope he doesn't get lost ink tonight. And here we are, where the most of us are doing lunch. I think. I don't know. It's not looking good.
Hey,
Hey, say hi.
Hi.
where's Smakey's? Number.
And off we go. Time to put on a happy face. Shut up.
Where's Lola?
There.
Yummy.
You see? Yeah, the family of them. You see it? Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
We're here at the Carnival with you all. And my sister. And
I don't like it. I look better with him.
Minute.
yes, it's so
Oh, I had long
hot.
hair, long wavy, when I was young.
Yes, it's so hot. I'm making vlog.
You're vlogging
Yes.
on my vlog? How dare you?
Hey.
Ikaw nahala. Ikaw
Kuya, tayong dalawa kabisera. The poor lady.
Well, after about an hour's wait, just to wait for a table big enough to suit 17 bodies, we're all seated now. Fortunately, Sister Jasmine was nice enough to take the order in advance prior to our actual sitting. So shortly we should be eating some really good food. I can't wait.
Ito lagi ko bigyan.
Kung sila mahilig ka sa gulay. Aba, masarap yan.
Eh, Tito Vic, nilagyan yung ginatan sita. Ayan, pala kay nanay.
Palit nga tayo dito.
Ilapit mo ba Tito Vic yung ginatan sita? Dito lang, dito.
Ang layo naman.
is a strawberry shake with a chocolate swirl. Much, well, almost, it's about the same as a mango or a watermelon shake. But Jaya likes it, and Joshua agrees. What a way to end this week, these weeks. Had a bit of gut rumblings that I didn't know about, which ended up with a very embarrassing moment, which forced me to change again. Can't go into details other than to say, I need new underwear. I'm vlogging. There's all my nieces. They said hi. Couple more hours and we're out of here. Bummer.
Anak, tapunin nyo na yan. Tapunin na.
Sino sasabay?
Sabi ko eh. Simas na akong palwas. Yung iba na Bigla nga rin, Aring dalawa siya. Aring dalawa siya yung baso.